Hello, everybody. I just set up all the little set up all the things I need to do. This is my very first live stream. I really hope that this works out really well. The fact that there's actually people in the chat gets me pretty excited. Thank you so much. I'm humbled that you showed up. I'm going to give a couple of little ground rules and then we'll get into the solving. I did pick out 3 puzzles to solve. 2 are classics from the Sudoku Grand Prix, and 1 is very similar to a classic. It's a non-consecutive, and I think it would be very fun to kind of solve together. So let me just open up my little notes here. I don't mean to show it on the screen. I'll push it over to another part of the computer as soon as it pops up, and then I can go through. All right. Now I'll pop this in the chat as well. So what I wanted to say is, of course, greetings, friend. Welcome to the live stream. In the chat, please be respectful of other people in the chat. I'll try solving the puzzles on my own. I will look, over to the chat every now and then. If you see something, feel free to put the answers or hints in the chat. I don't mind you spoiling it. For me, I do want to just see you, think about how you are solving that. I picked out 3 puzzles but we also have an hour. So if I get to the hour and I didn't get all 3 done, I'll have to stop, do the other commitments. If I get all 3 done, I can hang around and chat with you guys for a little while. And I'll do my best to respond to questions in the chat. And I'll try to read out that question before responding because there is a little bit of delay, a few seconds. Okay, let me copy and paste these rules into the chat right here. And the puzzle links are in the description of the live feed, but I'll also try to put them in as we go. So I'm going to pop in this first puzzle into the chat as well. Well, hey, John, good to see you there. Color Radio, Yoshi, Jerry. All right, awesome. Thanks so much. Prods, cool. CKO, awesome. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so this first one, Classic Sudoku from the Grand Prix. So this is the practice Sudoku that they give for the classics. And so this one, at least for the last 2 years, is the puzzle to put in the instruction booklet. What's interesting about it is that it's probably harder than most of the classics. If I remember right, and I haven't solved this one in a while, it does require at least 1 advanced strategy. So normal Sudoku rules apply. Place a digit from 1 to 9 in each empty cell in the grid, so that each row, column, and marked 3 by 3 box contains each digit exactly once. Click in the chat if you want to solve yourself, and with that, it's solving time. So we'll start with these ones. Got 2 places for a 1 right here. You can look right here. There's only 1 place for a 1 in block 5, so I'll mark that. 2 places for a 1 in block 7, and 2 places here in block 2. More than 2 places in block 8. Won't mark any more of those 1s. Look at the 2s. And I'll just go sequentially to find restrictions before moving on to needing more advanced strategies. I don't see any restrictions for the 2s where there's only blocks where you can mark them twice, or any solves I can make with those 2s. We'll go to 3s. You got this 3 cutting across right here. This 3 coming up. Nice pointing pair of 3s right there, which restricts the 3s to these 2 spots in block 3. And that's all I can do with the 3s for now. With the 4s, we can actually make some solves here. This 4 displaces that 3. And then this 4 and these 4s. You can solve for a 4 right here. And these 2 4s. 2 4s in block 1 and 2 4s in block 2. And in case you're wondering, I might mention this in another video, I stopped calling these Snyder marks. I had a discussion on Reddit with Stormseeker, who's been doing Sudoku for 20 plus years, has given me some great advice, posts many things on Reddit, and he explained that this isn't necessarily Snyder notation. He actually went through a lot more solving. I still think there's value in marking 2 places for a candidate in a 3x3 block, so I'll continue to do that. I just won't call them Snyder marks or Snyder notation anymore. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible. All right, with the 5s, nothing else we can do there. With the 4s, the 5s, only 1 5, no help there. With the 6s, you can solve for 6 here in block 3, and in block 2, and in block 8 because of these 2 6s. And I believe we can finish the 6s in block 4. All right, move on to the 7s. We got a pointing pair of 7s here. Well, that's not a pointing pair. In block 6, restricts the 7s in this spot, and then with this 7, nothing else we can do with the 7s. Go to the 8s, and we have an 8 right there, displacing that 1. And then with these 2 8s and this 8, you can solve for an 8 right here, displacing this 3. In the corner, bum, bum, bum. Okay, and then we can solve for an 8 in block 4. I think that's all of the 8s. Look at the 9s. We got a pointing pair of 9s right here in block 9, which allows you to solve for 9 right here in block 6 because of these 2 9s. And then what else can we do with the 9s? With these 2 9s and this 9, you can solve for a 9 there in block 1. And with these 2 9s, 2 places for a 9 in block 7. And with these 2 9s, 2 places for a 9 here in block 8. And so you can see here, a little mini X-wing. Note that the 9s are restricted to rows 7 and 8 here in blocks 7 and 8. And so that means the 9 can't be there or there. So we know this can't be a 9. The 9 is restricted to this cell in row 9 here in block 9. So we can make that solve right away. Okay, we made quite a few solves in this puzzle. And so what I always say is when you do that, go back through the digits and see if there's anything else, any easy solves we missed before moving on. All right, I can see right here, you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. We need a 5 and a 7. With this 7, that means this has got to be your 7 and that's got to be your 5. And then I see here in column 1, there's only a 2 and a 3. And look across, can't solve the 2 and 3, but I will mark that. And at this stage, I also look for pairs now because we want to see, how do the cells interact with each other. And I will mark pairs as they come up. Looks like you're going to have a 2, 5 here in block 3 and then in column 8. And I'm looking to see if there's something else we can do marking wise there. We got another pair here across row 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. Just need a 5 and a 7. All right, see a lot of 2s, 5s, 7s popping out. And then right here, it looks like you have a 7, so we just need a 2 and a 5. Okay, so 2 and a 5 right there. I have a feeling we're about to create, and there's a 2, 7 right here. Okay. All right, all right. What do we have down here to finish block 9 and column 9? Looks like you need a 2, 5, 7 as well. With this 2, that's a 5, 7, and this would be a 2, 5, 7. All right, and you see as I'm marking, I am not finding easy solves just yet, but I will get to it. Okay, we got one here. This one and this one. You can solve this for a 1, displacing that 9. Displace that 9. Solve this for a 9, and with this one, now you can displace the 1 here. Solve this for a 1, and this is going to leave you with a 5, 7. All right, so nice little cleanup there. I think some of you guys might have seen that in the chat. What else can we do? Now with this one, displaces the 1 here. Solve this for a 1. Love cleaning up those marks. Looks like we got a 3, 5, 7 here in column 5. That's interesting. That's 3, 5, 7. Can we do better than that? Yep. 3 and this 3 means this has to be the 3. And then that's going to be a 5, 7. Okay. 2, 5 cutting across here means that's got to be a 2, 5. And 2, 3, 5 means that 3s are limited to these 2 spots. And I'll mark this as a 2, 3, 5. Cool. Okay, cutting across row 4, we got 2, 3, 7. So 3's there. 2, 3, 7. Okay. And I feel like we're getting close here. All right, 5, 7, 5, 7 there. Interesting. Okay, what I'm doing here. Oh, okay. So that's a 5, 7 naked pair. It means this has to be, looks like a 3 and a 4. Can we do better than 3 and 4? Not yet. We're getting close though. I feel like there's something easy here that I'm just like overlooking right now. Okay. If we were to finish the rest of the marks here, what we got? You got a 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. You need a 2, 3, 4, 7. 2, 3, 4, 7. That can't be a 4. And I don't see 2, 3, 4, 7. So interesting. All right. So what I'm noticing, you got, these two 5s going across this way. Get this 2, 7, 2, 5, 5, 7. It's like a XY wing going right there. I'm trying to see if there's a skyscraper or an XY wing that I can use in this puzzle. Like I see 2's there. I see 2's here. Oh, I'm actually... Okay. All right, so I got something here. Maybe you saw this. Where can the 5s go in rows 3 and 9? These two areas, right? And they share a common column 5 there, right? But the tips are in different columns of the same 3-block band. And so we got a skyscraper of 5s, right? Either 5's here. Anything that sees it can't be a 5. If it's not a 5, that would be a 5, which means this can't be a 5, and then this would be a 5. So one of these orange cells has to be a 5. We can eliminate a 5 from this cell right there. Solve it for 2. I'm going to look in the chat. Someone found uniqueness, mini X-wing. Okay, cool. All right. But I think this is going to help us out, right? Because that's a 2. Now that's going to be a 5. That's going to be a 7. That's 5. That's a 7. And this is going to be a 5. We're going to remove the colors. And yeah, I remember there being an advanced strategy. Again, I hadn't solved this one in a long time. But it was good that we found that. Most of the Sudoku Grand Prix, you will not need an advanced strategy. You can go to those top 7 strategies in my Sudoku solving guide, and you can get all of them knocked out for most of those puzzles. Every now and then you'll see an X-wing or a skyscraper or a remote pair, but that's not common. 2, 3, 2, 5, 3, 7, 5 with this 3, disambiguate, well, the 4 and the 3 right there. I do have the conflict checker there. And that's a 7. All right, with this 3 and this 7, that's got to be a 2. And this has got to be a 5. That's got to be your 2. That's got to be your 7. That means that's a 3, and last digit is a 4. Okay, nice job there. All right. Thank you, John. And John, I think I saw a super chat. I really appreciate that. I have a really small window of the chat right now, so I'm looking there. Yep, there it is. Awesome. And yep, looks like a skyscraper is what did it there. So I don't know if some of you tried. I actually just did round 2 of the Sudoku Grand Prix. It's out. Ukraine. Sergey Tishenko did the puzzles, and it's very fun. Try it out. Since it's still open, I can't give you any hints on the puzzles themselves, but you can go to Sudoku Grand Prix, and it's free online tournament. Download. You got 90 minutes to fill in as many puzzle answers as you can. I highly recommend it. They got some pretty cool variations this time around. All right, so we're going to move on here to a puzzle that I decided not to show on the main channel. This is round 1, puzzle 1, the Sudoku Grand Prix, and I thought maybe it was a little easy. I thought puzzles 3 and 4 were more exciting to show on the channel, but I figured we could solve this one together in case you didn't see it. And we'll see about if we need to use marks or we can do no mark solving. We'll just check it out. But it's classic Sudoku rules. You can click in the chat. In fact, I'll put it in the chat again in case somebody needs it. And yeah, with that, it's solving time. All right. We'll just start with the ones here. We got ones in block 1. You got this 1 cutting across, so it makes a pointing pair of 1s in block 5. And that's all you can do with the 1s for now. Go with the 2s. Solve for 2 here in block 4. Limits the 2s to these 2 parts in block 6. Okay, go to the 3s. These 2 3s, you can solve for 3 here in block 1. In the corner, bum, bum, bum. This 3 cuts down and makes a pointing pair of 3s. And with this 6, you might as well just notice that it's a 3 and a 6. So 3, 6, hidden pair, which will restrict these 3 cells to a 1, looks like a 1, 8, 9, right? So you can do a 1, 8, 9 right there, and that can't be a 1. And so this is a nice locked triple. Not only is it in block 5, but in column 5, it'll add a bunch of restrictions. And so what you kind of see is with these 5 cells, and then there's multiple givens across rows 1 and 9, that it puts a lot of restriction on these cells right here. And we'll kind of get to that. In fact, we can solve this cell right now. You might notice you have a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across the top. So you just need a 1, 2, 8, 9. And you got the 1, 8, 9 right here. So that's got to be a 2. Hopefully you saw that. And then with this 8, I'm going a little off script here. That's a 1, 9, but what it'll do is it'll restrict the 8s to these 2 cells. And so, I can mark it as a 1, 8, 9, but the idea is that the 8s are now limited to row 1 in block 2. Okay, let's get back to these 2s. 2 2s right here in block 3. Because this is a little bit of a discipline thing, right? Because a 2 can't be there. So the 2s are in these 4 cells, column 7 and 8, column 7 and 8 in block 3. So we know that's going to be a hidden single 2 right there. And sure enough, you could look and go, no 2 because of that, no 2 because of that, and no 2 because of that one. Cool. All right. Anything else with the 2s? Yep, 2s right here in block 8. And let's go on to 3s. 3 can't be in that corner either. I don't see anything else I can mark 3-wise other than this being a hidden pair, which you already noticed. With the 4s, you got a pointing pair of 4s right here in block 3, which will allow you to solve this cell for 4 because of that 4. And then with this 4, you can solve for 4 in block 4. And you got 2 places for 4 in block 7. And I don't, with this 4 and this 4, 3 places here, I'm not going to mark that. 3 places here, not going to mark that. Awesome. Move on to the 5s. 2 places for 5 in block 9. 2 places in block 2. 2 places here in block 4. And that's it for the 5s. How about the 6s? Oh, we can solve for 6 here because of these 3 6s. Displacing that 5. Nice. And then with these 2 6s, solve for 6 here in block 6. Pointing pair of 6s there, right? So you can put 6s here in block 4. But we can do better than that because of these 2 6s, that's got to be, well, that's a 6 right there. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. These 2 6s and this 6, how about we do a 1 6 hidden pair instead? All right. If you saw that, my apologies. Now you can solve that for a 6. And I don't see any other spots. So you can put 4 places for a 6 there. That's not going to help. Okay. How about the 7s? You can solve for 7 in block 6. And with these 2 7s, solve for 7 in block 2. And then with this 7 and this 7, 2 places for 7 in block 7. But we can do better than that, right? Because this has got to be a 7, 9 naked pair to finish block 1. So you know that's not going to be a 7. And you can solve this for 7, leaving just a 5 in column 1. And now with that 5 and this 5, you can solve for a 5 in block 7. And so, they rate these puzzles easier. You get less points in the Grand Prix for the earlier puzzles. but they should be a little bit more like approachable. Once you make a few solves, it should become a little bit quicker to get the rest of the solves in there. Okay, 2 5s right there. And what do we have here? I was doing the 7s. I can solve this cell for 7 now. And with that 7, that's going to be a 7 displacing the 5. Displacing this 5, solve that for a 5. You're taking full advantage of those marks. And we got now the 9 7 here to finish block 1. Did I also mention that you don't get to do this on a computer solving? That it's all paper and pencil, so I have to go print out the puzzles, write them down on paper, and then input the answers online. So this is a little easier because the marking's a lot easier, but I'm doing a lot of scribbling and a lot of erasing when I'm solving this for real. Alrighty, let's go for the 8s. With these two 8s, you have a pointing pair of 8s right there. We already know the 8s are limited in those 2 spots. What else can we do with the 8s? We can solve for an 8 here in block 7, displacing that 4, and we can finish up block 7 with a 3. With these 2 3s, just see the impact, real common block. Solve those for 3s. And you're going to see here with these 8s, we know those got to be 8s. Can we take it one step further? It looks like it's a 1 3 8 across row 9. So you got the 8 and a 3 right there. And so that's got to be a 1, which means that's going to be a 9. And now you got a 1 8 naked pair in row 1. Nice. And then this would be, looks like a 3 and an 8. I don't see the ability to put the 3s in just yet, but we're about to get some solves here. You got a 2 3 right here. This 3 is going to help us out. Here's a 3, there's a 2. Full house. We can solve for a 9 now in row 7, and then make that a 2. And then what you have here is a 1, which I know I can pull from one of these ones, and a 4, and block 8. All right. Now where do we go? Let's look for the greatest restriction, right? And so in this case, I'd probably look at these 2 cells and say we got a 3 and a 9. Can't solve that yet. So then we come here. This is a 3 6. So how about 8 and a 9? Naked pair across row 5. With that 9, that's going to be your 8. That's going to be your 9 right there. And now you can remove the 9s, make that a 1 8. And this 8 allows you to displace that 8, solve this cell for an 8. So far, looking good. With this 2, displace the 2 here. You see, just kind of, I'm actually looking back and see if there's something I missed with the marks. There's 2, there's a 4. This has to be a 1. Now I can disambiguate the 1 6 here. This is the gush. And you get to actually solve some of the cells that you made all the marks for. So that's a 4. What is this going to be? 6, 9, and a 6 there. With this 9, that's going to unravel everything. There's a 6. There's a 9. Here's a 6. Here's a 3. Here's a 3. Here's the 8. Here is the 8. Here's the 1. Okay. And so we know this is a full house, so that's got to be a 9. 9. Why'd I put a 3 there? You guys have probably seen this the whole time, huh? That'd be a 9, and this would be an 8. Wow. I mismarked again. And there's a 1, and our last digit is a 3. Okay, a couple of mismarks going on there. I am not perfect. I'm sure you saw that. Yep, John, you pointed it out. Typo on the 3 9. Maybe I'm just nervous. Who knows? Well, 25 minutes into it, we got 2 puzzles down. So the next one is non-consecutive Sudoku. I'll put the link in the puzzle. So a little bit different rule set. I'll explain as it goes. I think if you're trying to transition from classics to variants, this type of rule set's a good one for you. So apply classic Sudoku rules. Digits placed in adjacent cells may not be consecutive. And sometimes you got to think adjacent. Is it orthogonally adjacent like this, or does it mean any cell around it? And I believe it means any cell around it. Well, I got to check that. Anyone know for certain? All right. Adjacent cells may not be consecutive. Okay. So I think like if it was just if it's just like that, that makes it a little bit easier to solve. So let's just get going here. Might notice well, that it's solving time. What do we have? See, there's less digits, so there's less marks to make. Like can't just start with the ones because there's multiple places for ones. What you want to look for is you think, okay, with this 1, where can a 2 go, right? Because it can't be consecutive. So a 2 can't go here, 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 or here. So then that has to be a 2. And it's a pointing pair of 2s. To go with this 2, and you can solve that for 2 now. You can put a 2's there, but with this 1, that can't be a 2. So then you can put a 2 right there. Hopefully this is making sense of how to use the restriction. Okay. And so with the 2, then the 3 can't be here, here, or here. And you have these 3's, so you solve for 3 there. So it must just be orthogonally adjacent because there's no other place to put a 3 in this cell, in this block. All right. What else can we do with these 3's? You'll see that it can't be here because of this 2, so that's got to be your 3 in block 1. And then you're just basically going to be avoiding putting 3's next to 4's or 2's. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So you got a 5, 6, 8, 9. What you would know is that you can't have the 6 or the 8 right there. So that'd be a 5 or 9. They got an 8 right there, so that's a 5, 6, or 9. And then you couldn't put the 5's there because of the 4. So 6, 8, 9, with this 8, that can't be an 8. Are we able to make any solves based on that? Not really. Okay. The other thing, because of this 4, a 5 can't be there, so you have a pointing pair of 5's in block 3. And then with these 2 5's, you'd have 5's limited to these 2 cells right there. All right. Again, changing the rule set up, just kind of looking to see what I can do. So you see with, let's see here, these 2 8's, 8's got to be in one of those spots. I can mark that. And then with this 2 and this 2, pointing pair of 2's here in block 4, which would allow the 2's to be right there. And I'm checking, hey, you know, is there a 1 or a 3 nearby? Nope, so we're good. Kind of look here across row 9. You got a 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you need a 1, 3, 8, 9. 9 and 8 right there. So 1 and 3. And then I'm telling myself, because of that 2, that can't be a 2. Displacing the 2. Okay, you got a 3 and a 9 in the column and the block, so that's got to be a 1 and 8. 3, this can't be an 8 because of the 7 next to it. So a 3 and a 9 right there. And then you see this would have to be 1, 3, 9. What's nice is this 7 now prevents the 8 from being in either one of those spots. It can't be here because of this 8. So now you can solve this cell for an 8. Nice. Okay. And let's look here. Where can we go next? We solved an 8 with this 2. That limits the 1. Can't go right there. 4 can't go here. I'm trying to see what else I can do solve-wise. Let's just focus here where we have the most digits placed. So I got 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need a 1, 3, 4, 5. So this could be a 1, 3, 4 because the 6 is right there. You got the 3 right there. So 1, 4, 5. And then this has a 1 and a 3. So 4, 5. Does that restrict things? Well, it restricts the 5's to these 2 cells. And then with this 5, you know, 5 is going to be in one of those 3 cells. Okay, that's helpful. Look across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 5, 6, 7, 9. And what kind of restrictions can we make here? This can't be a 5 because the 5's are restricted to these 2 cells. And Jerry, you're asking why can't a 3 be next to a 4? So this is non-consecutive rules. So this extra sentence there, digits placed in adjacent cells may not be consecutive. So it's adding one more rule set to a classic Sudoku. All right, 5, 6, 7, 9. We can put all those right there. This one, take the 7 away because of this 7. And this has a 6, and there's a 4, so you can get rid of the 5 and the 6 right there. Nice. Okay, where can I go to see more restriction? We can look across here because there's 4 digits placed. And you kind of ask yourself, you know, what can go in here? So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And to see what kind of restrictions end up being placed. 9 can't be there. 4 can't be there because it's already in the block. It gives you 5, 6, 7. Can't be a 7 either, right? Because of this 8. This can't be a 9 because of the 8. We can remove that. This can't be a 9 or a 7. It also can't be a 4. And so hopefully you see now we got some going on here with these 5, 6 pairs. This is going to start unraveling a few things for us. Nice. And we'll just finish getting rid of all the marks. This can't be a 4 because of the 3, and it can't be a 5 because the 5s are limited. Okay, so with this 5, 6, that's a naked pair. 5, 6 can't be anywhere else along row 1. And so now we're going to be able to make some solves. So there's your 9, there's 7. Okay, we can get rid of that 9 right there. And so you got a 5, looks like 5, 6, 8 to finish block 3. Nice. This 9 means that's going to be a 5. And 5 and 9 means that's a 6. That's going to be an 8. And we're going to remove the 8 from right there. And I like clean up these kind of marks. So this is a 5, 6 naked pair. We can do some more solves here with the 9. That's got to be a 7. With this 5, 6, that can't be a 5 anymore. So that's a 4. That's going to be your 5. Nice. And you can remove the 4 from right here. Okay. So this can't be a 7. It's going to be a 6 because this is going to be your 9. And then with that 6, this is going to be your 5. That's going to be your 6. That's going to be your 5, and that's going to be your 6. What I've noticed with the Grand Prix puzzles, if you can get like the main break-in and the main idea, usually there's 1 or 2 instances where you have to use it. The rest of the puzzle starts going a lot quicker. So right here, we need a 1 and a 9. So I can put 1 and 9 right there. What can be right here? 2, 4, 7. This can't be a 7. And it can't be a 4 because of that 5. So that's a 2. And you look here and go 4, 7. Does it conflict? Well, the 4 is right here. So there's 4, there's 7. Nice. All right. Look for more restrictions here as we move along. Where would be the next place to go? I'd go where there's the most digits. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So 4, 5, 8. Yeah, 4, 5, 8, 9. This can't be a 5 because the 5's in the block. Can't be a 9 because of this 9. And it can't be an 8 because of the 7. So that's got to be a 4. Get rid of all those 4s. Alrighty. 8, 9, that's still valid. 5, 8, 9, that's valid. 5, 8, 9. Limits the 5s of these 2 cells. Okay. So we got, looks like 1, 3, 8, 9 in here. This can't be a 3 because of the 4. It can't be a 9, so that's got to be a 1 and 8. And this could be a 1, 3, 8, 9. Not very helpful. What's the next place that has the most restrictions here? Or we look to see if we have a lot of digits that are already placed. Well, these 2 4s. Well, I'll just do 4s right there. Center block and block 1 has to be a 6. All right, yep, got it. Cool. I'm just checking the chat out. Okay. I feel like there's some restriction down here and in here that I want to focus on right now. So let's try this row here. You got a 2, 5, 6, 8, 1, 3, 4, 7, 9. 1, 3, 4, 7, 9. And I just start peeling these away. You know, these can't be 9s because the 9's already in the block. Can't be a 4 or a 7 because that's already in the row. Gives you a 1, 3. So a nice 1, 3 naked pair, which would give you just a 4, 6, 7 right here. Are there any other? We know the 7 can't be there, and the 4 can't be there because of this 4. So that's got to be a 6, which would put the 4 there because the 7 can't go there, and that would be your 7. Okay. We can get rid of the 7s. And we'll move on. Let's see here. With the solves we made, 1, 2, 3, 8. So that could be 1, 2, 3. Can't be an 8 because of 7. 1, 2 can't be a 3 because of the 4. 8. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 3, 2. We got 2 2s there. Okay, but because of this 2, we can solve that. And you probably saw that in chat. Cool. Which puts a 2 here, puts an 8 right here. Nice. And then that's going to be a 9. Because it's a 5, 8. But with this 9, you can see right away. I mean, these setters for the Grand Prix are top notch. They make very nice solved puzzles. That's why I like featuring them on the channel. And they give, they're quite rewarding. You get the main idea down, you usually get rewarded with some other good solves right away. This 1, 3 and this 1, 3 means this has to be a 9. And what we got here looks like a 1, 3, 6, and 8. Can we narrow this down any? Yep. The 1 and the 5. 5 means that can't be a 6. That can't be a 1. You got an 8 in the column. And then over here, can't do the 1 or the 3 because of the 4 and the 2 being too close to it. And so what you see is 8s are limited here. And 6s are limited here. Now losing a little momentum here. Hopefully we can pick up some more speed. Let's start right here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. So 4, 7, 9. You'll see 7 and 9 can't be there because of the 8. So that's a 4. This has got to be your 7, 9. All right. Let's look here. Got a 1, 5, 1, 4, 5, 6, 8. 2, 3, 7, 8 is what's left. And I know I'm doing a lot of the marks in real solving. Hopefully I can see it a little bit quicker, but I think I want to kind of just illustrate, how we do the eliminations. This can't be a 7 or an 8 because they're already in the row. It can't be a 3 because of the 4. That's got to be your 2. And then that immediately moves to 3. And then, of course, you can move the 8 from there. So that's got to be your 7. And now I disambiguate the 9, 7 right there. This can't be a 7 or an 8 because of the 7. So that's a 3. That's going to be your 8. Which means this is a 6. And gives you a nice 1, 3 right there. Awesome. All right. Did we do any other cleanups? Well, with these 3s and this 3. Solve for a 3, solve for a 1, solve for a 3 right there. Get rid of those. And now with this 8, I think I had this 9. Wait a minute. That can't be right. You can't have a 9 in either one of those spots. I did something wrong here. Huh. The one's gonna have to be in one of those spots. I think I mismarked the way I did with the 1s. So I did something about block 4 on my marking. If we put a 1, 4, 9 here with this 4, a 4 here makes sense. And you've put a 1 here, that makes sense. That's a 9, that's 1. So I don't think I messed up. I think I just removed the wrong marks at some point in the puzzle there. I deleted the 1. Thank you. All right, 2, 5, 9. This can't be, you got 9, 2, so that's a 5. And so you got 2, 9 here because of this 1. That's 9, that's a 2. With these 2s and this 2, well, we got all the 2s already. So how about we do this? 8 and 9 with this 8. 8, 9 right there. Nice. This 3, how about we just clean all this up? 3, 1, 3. Okay, and these ones and this one, it's all for 1 here. Full house, this has to be a 4. And we got a 5 and a 6. So with this 5, I'll pull it on down. So that's a 5. Last digit is a 6. Okay, so that's how you do non-consecutive Sudoku. We're at 41 minutes. And that's all the puzzles I have. If you want, I could pull another Sudoku Grand Prix puzzle with a little bit. I could actually do puzzle 2 if you want another classic, or I could pull another variant rule set. I'll look and see what you guys put in the chat about which one to do. If I don't see anything, I'll probably just do puzzle number 2. So I think you guys would appreciate that. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here is yeah, I gotta figure out how to pull this. So I'll do that. All right, you guys should still be watching. The last puzzle I have. Oh, great. Actually, let me see if I can do it this way. I might only have puzzle 2 on Sudoku. In that case, I can still solve it that way. Let me look here. I didn't think I'd be solving this quickly. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, if you guys are okay with Sudoku, let me check and see what the screen looks like. I can fix the window. Huh. Okay. For some reason it's not. Like I have Sudoku up, but it's not pulling Sudoku. It's still showing the web page. All right, let me. If you guys don't mind waiting a minute here, I can put it in Sudoku Maker really quick. Discuss amongst yourselves. Boop. All right. I mean, I guess I can show you what I'm doing. You guys want to see that? Yeah, I'll just show you what I'm doing. Okay, so here's a Sudoku Maker. And it'll be round 1. Well, let's try this. Round 1, puzzle 2. 2025 Sudoku Grand Prix. And then, you know, rules. I usually keep the normal solving rules in a Word file. So plop it there, right? And now I can pull up the puzzle, which I have in Sudoku, and start filling it out. 7, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did not plan to do this, but I figured if you guys want to see a little bit of a little bit of the back, you know, behind the curtain type stuff, here it is. 3, 8, 9, 4, 2, and I'm looking at it on another screen in case you're wondering. 6, 5, 5, 4, 7, 8. So I'll check it again. 7, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 7, 8, 8, 6, 7, 6, 5, 1, 4, 2, 3, 8, 9. Now you go here and you click check for uniqueness. You can't see it. Dang it. Why can't you see it? All right. Why is it not? Well, let me try. Okay. Well, I'm sorry you guys didn't see all that. I'll fix it here real quick. Man, wasted opportunity. So now you should be able to see it. Let me know that you see it. Like, to me, it's showing that it's on the screen now. I guess for some reason it wouldn't show the other website pages that I was working on. But I basically just went in Sudoku, added all these digits, checked it for uniqueness, and that had a valid solution. It does, and so we should be good. All right. So, John, you guys can see the puzzle now? There's 7 right here in the top right corner, top left corner. Cool. Okie doke. So here, this is round 1, puzzle 2. And, you know, with that, normal Sudoku rules apply. With that, it's solving time here. Okay. These 1s, 3 places for 1. I'm not going to mark that. Go for the 2s. No places or restrictions I see with the 2s. The 3s, we should be able to get something here. We got a pointy pair of 3s in block 7, which limits the 3s to these 2 cells in block 2 or block 4. And then this 3 and this 3, another pointing pair of 3s in block 8. Okay. And then this 3 and these 3s, you can solve for 3 in block 3 in the corner. Bum, bum, bum. Puts the 3s there. And then hopefully you see mini X-Wing. And since the 3 covers this cell, a 3's got to be somewhere in row 5. The only place it can be is in block 5. 3's already in column 4, so this has got to be your 3 right there. So that's another good use of this marking. All right, let's check out the 4s. These 2 4s, solve for a 4 right here. And these 2 4s, solve for a 4 in block 7. And then these 4s and this 4, you can solve for a 4 in block 6. And it looks like with these 4s, 4 in block 2, and then last 4 in block 5. Nice. All right, go to the 5s. We got a pointing pair of 5s in block 9. Hopefully you see that because of this 5 right here. To go with that 5, limits the 5s right here in block 8. Looking good. Okay, and this 5 and this 5, we can solve for a 5 in block 1. Limits the 5s in block 2 to right here. Again, another mini X-Wing. This is a little bit easier to see than to go all the way down here and see that a 5's missing from every cell except this one. Because the 5's got to be in column 5 somewhere. You already got a 5 right there. That's got to be your 5. And then with this 5 and this 5, 2 5s in block 6. Cool. All right, so far so good. Okay, with the 6 cutting across row 7. Pointing pair of 6s right there. Go with this 6. So 3 places for a 6 there. It could be a blind spot since I'm not going to mark it. Anything else with the 6s? Yep, this 6 right here puts another pointing pair of 6s here. And then I'm going to see, it doesn't really do much for the solve at this point. But we can do some stuff with the 7s. We know we can solve that for 7. With this 7, solve this for 7. And I remember there's, yeah, these 5s were linked together, so I can solve that 5 immediately. And then this 7 and this 5, they're actually a nice hidden pair. Maybe you guys saw that. If I would looked at the 5 and 7 together, I could have made a hidden pair solve right away. And that 7, this 7, oh, and this 7. So 7 here, 3 there, 3 there. And now, pointing pair of 7s and this 7 and this 7. Solve for 7 in block 7. So far, so good. 2 7s left in block 3. Okay. 8s. I see this 8 coming up. Makes a pointing pair of 8s right here. Or this way, if you had saw that 8 first. Does the same thing. But we can make a solve. With these 8s, it looks like you can solve for an 8 in block 3. And then with these 8s, solve for an 8 right here. Displacing the 3, allowing you to solve for a 3 right here. And so again, this is puzzle 2. Should be a little bit harder than puzzle 1 that I showed you, but not overall somewhat approachable. Anyway, I know we can solve this cell right away because this has to be a locked triple of 3 digits, and you already have the 3, 7, 5, 8, 4 here. So it's like, what is that going to be, right? You can look this way and go 1, 2, 9, And, or you can say, hey, the 9 covers all 3 of these cells. This has to be the 9, which puts a 1, 2 right here. And then we know that this is going to be a 1, 2, 6. And each of those are varied. I'll mark it, though in solving I probably wouldn't, because I could easily keep track of that. This would be a 1 and 2 and a 6. But I'll mark it there just so I know that I already covered that spot. Looks like this would be a 1, 6, 8. All right, and then a 1, 8. Did I finish all my marks? Nope. Because this 8 with this 6, now you have a 6, 8 hidden pair, acts as a pointing pair, remove that as an 8. Okay. Saw that 4 and 8. And then you got a 9 and a 6 right here. But that's got to be a 6. So that's going to be a 9, and that's going to be a 6. Okay, and then with this 9, we have another. Sorry about that. All right. 1, 2, and a 9 here. So we got the 9, 2, 1. I'll mark it just to show that I looked at this block. So that's a 9. That's 2, and that's going to be the 1 removed from those cells. Gives us what left? This would be 1, 2, 7. Can't do anything with that. 2, 9. 2, 9, naked pair. And then you got this 1, 6, and a 9. Okay, here we go. 6 and a 9 means that's got to be the 1. That's going to be your 9, which will disambiguate all this. Nice. And then that's got to be a 9. This has got to be a 6. And so I think we're kind of onto something here. 2 or 7 there. I'll mark it. 7. This has got to be a 2, 5. No worries. And what's this got to be? Because you have the 1, 2 there. This has got to be 6 and a 9. Okay. And so where do you go from the solves? Well, always go for the full house if you got one. Here's one right here. We guarantee we can solve that for a 9. And then that's going to limit these two. Looks like you got a 1 and a 1 and 6 right here. And so because of this 1, there's your 1, there's your 6. And now we can disambiguate the 2, 1, 6 here. Nice. 8, 1 there to try to clamp all those marks. 2 and the 1 right there. Awesome. And then we got another full house this way, so that's got to be a 9. We know we can be able to disambiguate the 6, 9 there, the 8, and the 6 right there. And then we got an 8 to finish column 1, and this has got to be a 2. This has got to be a 9. Okay, getting close to the end. 2 and a 6 with this 6. Here's 6, here's 2. Means that's got to be a 5. 7, 5, 2, 7. We already displaced that 5. So I just look in the block initially. I need a 1 and a 2. Pull the first digit, I see the 1. So that's got to be a 1. Your last digit is a 2. Okay, bonus puzzle there. Round 1, puzzle 2. So this is kind of the idea. I had a lot of help from some other setters, some other streamers. So like Chatty Cathy, Clover, Meme Rister, Ranks, Brimster all gave me tips on how to do a live solve. So I really thank all those setters that I reached out to for helping me out. Thank you for all the people that give me puzzles to solve. And if you're liking this content, you can always just message me on Discord, respond to comments. I read it. Send me an email if you want a puzzle you want me to solve. I'll see about doing this again. Probably do maybe one live stream a month. With my schedule, I really can't do too much more than that. But you're still going to get 3 videos every week. Still going to get at least 1 bonus video. Still going to get puzzle packs if you're a Smarty Party member. Thank you for those Smarty Party members. And yeah, if you got any other feedback on how to make this a better experience for you, please let me know. I'm open to it. I can do things like, might be hard to bring on guests, but I could do things like doing your suggestions for puzzles, I could do some voting in the community tab. I could also, I could also, mix up a little bit about what I'm showing on the screen, maybe give you some tips, that kind of stuff. Okay, well, that's all I'm going to do. I think my brain's about fried. I'm so glad that it worked out. You actually got to see the puzzles. I'll take some notes down on how to make sure that I'm showing the right window at every time, and that I'm not getting pop-ups from my friends and things like that during the stream. But thank you so much for your support. Thank you for those that tuned in. I'm happy to have some folks here. I will save this and release it as the full video for people that missed it, so they can watch the solves if they missed it this time. Again, thank you so much.